Threats of violence towards Jews and Muslims here in the United States are rising tonight as the war between Israel and Hamas rages on. The FBI says it's tracking an increasing number of threats against Jewish and Muslim Americans. And while there's no evidence of Hamas coordinating attacks on American soil, officials do warn that supporters could act on their own. Anti-Jewish and anti-Muslim attacks in this country have already been trending upward before this attack. Anti-Semitic attacks were up 30%, 36% last year. NewsNation correspondent Laura Ingle's been tracking all the threats and joins us live. I know they've taken a real spike, Laura.
They have, Elizabeth, and good evening to you. And you know, some of the biggest concerns for law enforcement right now is not only identifying those threats and trying to stay ahead of them, but also trying to identify lone wolf scenarios. We've been hearing about that. And one way the Jewish and Muslim population has been working toward protecting their community has been asking for stepped up security, as we saw today firsthand in New York. You don't usually see officers with long guns outside of a school campus like this, but just like many other Jewish schools, mosques and synagogues, there is a noticeable increase in police presence since the October 7th attacks in Israel.
But we are being vigilant, and we take all threats seriously, whether they're general or direct.
It's a scene being repeated all across the country after an increase in anti-Semitic threats in recent months, and local officials here say they are ready to confront head on.
And I want to stress that this is not leaving out any community, whether it be Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Sikh. The fact of the matter is this threat is against Jews, so that's why we are focusing on Jewish communities, Jewish institutions, and Jewish educational facilities.
The FBI reports there were over 1,000 anti-Jewish hate crimes last year, which is up 36% from the year before, and 158 anti-Muslim hate crimes in 2022. We spoke with a former FBI agent who helps to advise businesses and law enforcement on how to best protect those being actively threatened.
They're putting a lot of detectives back in uniform and putting them on the street. They're trying to, do what they can to protect the homeland and individuals here throughout the country by being more aware of who's around. But again, as we have spoken in the past, a lone wolf is just exactly that. It's hard to identify who that individual may or may not be. And obviously you're balancing people's constitutional rights as well.
And today, President Biden addressed these new threats and those new stats from the FBI, saying in part in a written statement this data is a reminder that hate never goes away, it only hides. Any hate crime is a stain on the soul of America. We continue to monitor the activities here and around the country.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.